That place of refinement. And that place of refinement, we need that to get that second touch, and also to get that second touch, to also get that double portion. If you're not refined, how can you even have the capacity to hold that double portion? This double portion that we're talking about is not just hearsay, it's not just what we speak, but you need to look at the part to also attain and hold that kind of responsibility, that kind of, responsibility. You have to die to self. Elijah and Elisha were men that were basically they've died to themselves. They're not even themselves anymore. They're just dead men walking, but it's just God that's walking in them, really. To be able to attain that kind of power that they had, no, you can't be self anymore. You have to die to self totally. You can't still be holding on to things that are of self to attain that kind of a thing. It's not just by prayer and fasting. No, there's a particular heart position that you have to position, that has to happen. Anyway, so I'm going to go to refinement. The dictionary meaning of refinement means the process of removing impurities or unwanted elements from a substance. The improvement or clarification of something by the making of small changes. So this is actually the point I'm actually trying to get to. Although my whole message is about the place of Bethel, but this is the point I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to amplify the word refinement in our lives. I believe that this is God's word to us today, that we need a retouch that will change us forever. We need to get back to that presence of God. We need to get back to that place of encountering Him. And we need to be refined. We really need to be refined. Don't go through the process. Yes. Place of refinement. Yes, I wrote here anyway that if we do not go through this process of refinement, of allowing God, refinement is a process. It's not just a one-day thing to get to that point of when things just change permanently, where God just changes your name. As we see that Jacob's family had to remove so many things from them to finally get to that point where God is like, okay, I'm going to change your name now. They had to go through that process. They needed to be purged to be able to attain that kind of glory. They had to. You can't come and attain that glory looking anyhow. You cannot. And God was preparing Jacob for what he was going to do when he got to Bethel. So what I'm talking about right now is not actually it's the place between the first time you encounter God and then the second time that God will now encounter you, that will change you forever, that you will now become that person that God has envisioned you to become, really. So I'm talking about the place of refinement, that process between them. We need to remove the things in our lives that God is pointing at to actually get to the place of double portion. There's no point of praying for double portion if you're not willing to obey the things that God is trying to take off your life. If you're not willing to go through that place of refinement. I believe that the reason why God was taking Elijah from Gilgal to Bethel, then to Jericho. As Pastor said before, it actually didn't make sense that he actually went to Bethel because I think Jericho and Gilgal are right beside each other. But he went to Bethel. I believe God was taking Elijah, or maybe unknowingly to him, through a process of refinement of, will you still obey even though you know that this is closer to this? Or are you going to argue? Will you still obey and just follow? That's all God really wants us to do, is just obey and follow. He doesn't really want us to say to the Lord that, but Lord, if I just do it this way, if we just do this, if we do, He knows that there's still so much self in you. There's still so much self. I can't really bring him to that place of double portion. He has not been refined. He's not trying to go through this process of refinement. But I believe God was taking Elijah through that, because it says, the fact that it even says, right before the whirlwind was going to come and then Elijah was going to go, maybe at that point he was probably even thinking that, oh, maybe I could get this double portion. Now it's quicker. So this is so quick. But no, before that now happened, God said, okay, go here, then go over here, and then go back here, in like kind of like a zig, even though the places itself have value, but I believe the whole process was actually a process of refinement, a process of really dying to self and just literally following